Welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're gonna cover my favorite workout of the week, which is arm day. So I'm gonna walk you through the workout, give you some pointers on how you can grow your arms as effectively as possible. But before we dive into that, let's drive home and let me finish this morning cup. Welcome back. Hey, buddy. Hey. So the reason that I like to do an individual arm day is honestly mostly psychological. Because arm days are relatively easy, right? You get a great pump, it feels good. So if you start your week with something that is relatively easy and that feels good, then you're probably gonna do it. And if you do the first workout of the week, then you're probably also going to do the other workouts of the week. So that means that, you're in the flow of things. In the end, consistency beats intensity, always. So you should always prioritize whatever makes you more consistent. So we're gonna go all the way downstairs and I'm gonna show you my little home gym setup and then we'll dive right into the workout. Let's go. Welcome to my little home gym setup. I cannot tell you how much time I already saved by having this. And if you work a lot and you don't have a lot of time, I cannot recommend it enough, if you have the space for it, of course. But of course, there's so much equipment out there, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So if you are thinking of building a home gym, here's what you should buy. So the first thing you need is going to be a bench. Make sure it's adjustable. Flat bench is a little bit cheaper, but you'll restrict yourself in terms of the exercises that you can do. Spend a little bit more and then the door opens to a whole bunch more variety, so it's definitely worth the additional expense. Then of course, we're gonna need a barbell with a good variety of plates, and then this guy right here, a squat rack. That's gonna take up a little bit of space, but you do really need it for your compound exercises. And those are gonna be the core of every single workout that you design. Think squats, bench press, you're gonna need one of these. Next thing we need is dumbbells. If you have the space, I do recommend you get a whole rack as opposed to these adjustable dumbbells. They're very convenient in terms of size, but they are gonna be very annoying with a lot of exercises that you do. So if you don't wanna get the full rack, maybe just get normal dumbbells and get a good variety of them. Honestly, that's really all that you need. If you have a barbell, a squat rack, a good variety of plates, and a good variety of dumbbells, you can pretty much train every single body part and do great workouts. Now, if you have those basics and you feel like, hey, I wanna upgrade, I wanna improve, I wanna get something more, then I recommend a cable machine, because honestly, it does open the door to a bunch more exercises. Issue is that they're typically very big, very bulky. So that's why I like this one, because it's a super easy system. You just attach it to the wall right there. It's a little bit more narrow than a typical cable machine, but you can honestly do everything you can do on a regular cable machine as well. Plus you can't really beat the price. I think I paid $1,100 for this. Okay, let's dive into it. I do my arm workouts in supersets, which means you do one exercise and then you do the other one without resting in between. And after you did both, you rest. Great way to increase the intensity, great way to reduce the time that you spend in the gym. Probably the best way to improve the efficiency of your workouts. So let's get to it. We're gonna start with what I think is the most effective bicep exercise out there. My personal favorite. We're gonna grab the cables at the bottom right here. Then we're gonna take a big step forward. You lean forward a little bit and then you bring them up. And very slowly, you bring it back down. Now the reason why I think this is one of the best ones out there is first of all because of the stretch. The more you can stretch your muscle and the more you can contract, the more effective an exercise is. But also due to the fact that your bicep is constantly under tension throughout this whole movement. We're gonna do 4 sets, 12 repetitions. Okay, so when that's done, we dive straight into the hammer curls. So we grab the weight, and we wanna make sure that we use full range of motion. All the way down and all the way up. What you see a lot of people do is this, using momentum, swinging the back, not going all the way down. Just means the weight is too heavy. You wanna choose a weight that you can control and then keep it slow and controlled. All right, so we just moved outside because the weather is absolutely beautiful. And I'm gonna show you a bicep trick that you can do for your next bicep workout. So it's a barbell bicep curl and we're gonna split it up in 3 parts. So for the first part, we're gonna lift till about halfway and we're gonna do that 8 times. Then we're gonna go from halfway to the top. Then for another 8, we're gonna go full range of motion. Do that 4 times, your biceps are gonna be on fire. Okay, so that concludes the bicep part. Now we're gonna go into triceps. Now the fastest way to grow your arms is to grow your triceps. If you look at my arm, you'll see that about 75% of it is triceps. This is all triceps, this little part is the biceps, the rest is really all triceps. Which means that realistically, if you're trying to increase the overall size of your arm, you should really be focusing on triceps, where everybody's always thinking, oh, bicep, bicep, bicep. It should really be triceps because that's what's gonna make the biggest difference. Let's get into it. So next we're going to do tricep extensions. And I like this one because of the stretch that I'm getting right here in my tricep. So we go all the way down and then we bring it all the way back up, but without locking your elbow joint. We're going to superset this with a tricep cable pull down. And what you want to pay attention to here is that you keep your upper arm stationary. So we just go like this. You can spread the cables a little bit at the bottom so that we can maximize stretch in the triceps. But what you see a lot of people do is they use their whole body. You know, they go like this and the upper arm swings all over the place. And then we're not really isolating the triceps anymore. So we bring it down, keep your upper arm stationary, and then we just do it like that. Next, we're gonna do an exercise I started doing recently, which is a cable kickback. Honestly, a great exercise to isolate this inner part of your tricep. Probably the best exercise I know to isolate that part. So the first thing you wanna do is drop the weight. Trust me, you're gonna wanna drop the weight. And then you wanna grab the cable at the bottom right here. We'll take a big step forward, just like with regular dumbbell kickbacks. And then we wanna move it up right there. Now for this exercise, we're going to do a drop set, which means that you do about 10 or 12 repetitions, however many you wanna do. Then you drop the weight, you don't rest in between, and you do that 3 to 4 times. Okay, so we talked about supersets, we talked about drop sets. Now it's time to put them all together in one exercise. This is by far the best exercise to finish your arm workout with. So we're going to start with triceps and we're going to do an overhead cable tricep extension. So we grab it over our heads and we go for as many repetitions as you can. Now this one you can really push till failure. Once you reach failure, we're going to switch into biceps. No resting in between because again it's a superset. So we're gonna do a cable bicep curl. Once again, till failure. Really try to squeeze it out all the way until the end. Once you reach failure, still no resting, we're gonna drop the weight and we're gonna repeat the whole thing again till failure. Now, you do that 4 times total and I promise you, you're gonna feel great at the end of that workout. That was it for today's arm workout. I hope it was useful. Save it, try it, give it a go, and let me know how it goes in the comments. It is Sunday right here, the work day is done. So I am going to jump in the pool, enjoy a little bit of sunshine, and I'll see you in the next video.